Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
And I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 8th of November, 2018, and this is episode 319. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys.
What?
I think that's it. There we go. To all of our returning viewers and a big hiya to any new viewers, thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, no one introduced themselves in the Ravelry group this week.
Oh, no.
So sad. If somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
Join and introduce themselves in our introductions thread because they'll get a shout out on our next episode and be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's right. Well, we have a little bit of stuff to talk about, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
What is on your needles, Dammy?
I got a teensy tiny bit of knitting done on my straightforward knits, which is a pattern by Monet Drager. It's on US 3.25 millimeter needles, and the yarn is Penguin Soup Emperor Sock in the Baker colorway.
It's so pretty and colorful and bright and lovely. Yes. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about on your needles?
No.
Maybe you'll finish those mitts by the time for next quarter.
It's already very cold here. I walked outside and I could see my breath.
There's policemen outside your dorm.
It's fire truck.
Fire truck outside your dorm. Is your building on fire?
I don't think so.
Okay. If it is, you have to run outside, away from the building. If you get any fire on you, what do?
Say no.
No, you stop.
Just say no.
Drop and roll. Can you do that?
Maybe.
Stop.
I was never good at dancing.
Drop and roll.
What's on your
I don't hear the sirens anymore, so I'm assuming it's nowhere near your dorm. So before Nandy Swim was started, I did get a little bit of progress on your cathedral wrap for your birthday. This is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. It's on US 6s, 4mm needles, and it's on Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Borealis colorway. So just a little progress on that on Halloween night, I guess, because we recorded on Halloween. So yes, on Halloween night, I did get a little bit of progress on that. And then, if you're wondering why I'm not mentioning anything else, it's because Nanny Swemo has started. So let me tell you what this is in case you're new or in case you haven't heard me talk about it before. Nanny Swemo. Do you know what Nanny Swemo is?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm just listening to more sirens outside.
Oh. I can't hear them, so they must
Something's on fire.
Yikes. Nanny Swemo stands for National Knit a Sweater in a Month. It is a spin-off of National Write a Novel in a Month, NaNoWriMo, so where you write a novel of 50,000 words or more in 1 month. So Nanny Swemo, you knit a sweater of 50,000 stitches or more in 1 month. That month is November. This is my 6th year participating. You can choose any pattern, any yarn. The challenge is you cannot start it until November 1st, have to finish it by November 30th, and it needs to be 50,000 or more stitches. So this is my 6th year to be participating in Nanny Swemo, and I have finished every year before Thanksgiving, which is my hope for this year as well. We shall see. So I am knitting the Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli. I'm using US 2.5 3mm needles and US 4s 3.5mm needles, and I'm using Nano Stitch Laboratory Scientific Sock in a one-of-a-kind lab experiment colorway. So here is my progress. So what happened is I started with the back. You start with, I can't remember if it was starting with the left back or the right back, whichever. You start and then you put it in a hold, do the other, and then you connect it together and add stitches in the middle, and then you work. I am so in love with this slip stitch detail. Can you see it?
Yes.
Isn't that pretty? So, and then you connect it, you do the back, and then you put it on waist yarn, and then you do the same thing for the front. And so I'm about, let's see, because once I get into knitting in the round, once I'm past the armhole, this thing is going to go fast. So I need to do about this much more before I can join it in the round. So where I'm at right now is, hold on, I just posted it on Instagram this morning, my stitch count. Let's see here. I'm currently sitting at 22,041 stitches.
That's a lot.
That is a lot for 7 days in. So I did get quite a lot knit at the retreat I was on this weekend, which I will talk about in Yummies. So yeah, all my knitting focus is going on this. Once I'm done with this, I will get back started on my zigzag blanket, my English paper piecing, working on Dammy's wrap, and then I've got some Christmas stuff that needs to be knit. So I will be doing that as well. So that is everything that is on my needles. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
They are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Why don't you start?
So, am I starting with the costume or L&I?
Whichever one you want to start with. And make sure and put L&I in there.
Okay. Well, for Halloween, I was Ariel, and here's some pictures.
Well, so last week we posted like a photo before you had gotten the corset on and everything at the end of the show.
Yeah. According to Hannah, it's not a corset, but a girdle.
Oh, well, before you had the girdle on then. But people seem to like your costume.
Yeah.
They were shouting Ariel across campus.
Yes, a sleeping beauty recognized me.
Oh, that's fun. And how was it wearing that massive wig?
Uncomfy.
Another reason why you don't have long hair?
Yeah.
So what did you do on Halloween night?
On Halloween night, I took off the wig and went to our first dry run of Love and Information at our theater.
Yes. Cool. How did it go?
Good. It was a dry run, so there was no light or sound cues or anything. So it was just
the acting.
Yeah.
And the blocking choreography stuff. Cool. So did they do it just like in their own order, or did they do it?
They had a set order given to them by their director because we didn't have the polling up yet. So
how does that work? Will you explain what we're talking about to people and like what it means for that play?
So for this play, Love and Information, you can vote on the order you would like to see the first 21 scenes in, because the order that the show scenes are presented in does not have any impact upon the plot.
Okay.
And so you can vote, and there's a polling thing that's up on a projector on stage. And so you just follow the instructions. So and it goes like chapter by chapter. So like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
So you vote like on your cell phone? Is it like a text thing that you vote? Or
yeah, that's a text thing. So you text the number and you text the letter of whichever scene you want to see first in that chapter.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so somebody behind the scenes is getting all those numbers or letters.
Yes, and they all have their phones on stage, so
that's cool.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're just hanging out while everyone sits down. We've got some people sitting up on the set, some people in the pit, some people sitting up in the cats.
Cool.
So, yeah. And
That's
they're just
pretty.
fun looking at how people vote so they can prepare themselves.
That's pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever been to a show like that before.
It's unique.
It is unique. That's really cool.
You can't vote on the order you see the scenes of my playing, though.
No, they have to go in one specific order.
I'm getting a wig.
Oh, how big of a wig?
I don't know, but my hair is too short. My hair is too short for the period style of hair. So
Dammy.
they were looking at wigs yesterday.
Dammy. Then my hair would definitely be too short and the wrong color.
Well, yeah, I'm not the only person. I'm not the only girl who has short hair. So like 2 or 3 of us are gonna have wigs.
Oh, okay. And do you know about your costume yet, or are they still working on that?
They're still working on that.
Cool. We should put at some point in upcoming events when your show is. It's not until the new year, so there's time. But that way, if anybody was local and wanted to come, they could get tickets.
Yeah, I'll wait until LNA finishes.
Which is next week, right? Yeah.
Next weekend, I think, 17th.
So, okay. So, as I mentioned in last week's A Day Early podcast surprise, I was going away to a retreat for the weekend. And we were in the middle of freaking nowhere. There was not cell phone service until you drove like 45 minutes to an hour away from where we were.
Oof.
And so we had no mobile service. There was no Wi-Fi. It was meant to be you getting completely away from the world. So I didn't even take any pictures because we didn't have our cell phones. Like I had my cell phone like in my bunk area, and took pictures every night of like my nanny swim-up progress. But that's the only thing I took pictures of. But we were at this beautiful, beautiful camp that is on a lake. And the water was so pretty, especially the mornings when the sun did come out and was like shining on the water. And it does that whole sparkly thing when the sun hits the water. That was really pretty. But it was an intense weekend. There was very little downtime. It was not a retreat of, okay, let's go away and rest. It was a retreat of learning a lot of information, processing a lot of information within a smaller group. And there were some fun things that we did, lots of music. So that was all the positive stuff. I had a very big negative though, that I had a horrific fibromyalgia flare on Friday. And I thought they were going to have to take me to the hospital because it was that bad. Thankfully, I had packed my TENS unit, and it was so weird because I forgot that I had my TENS unit with me. So a TENS unit, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it like stimulates the nerves and helps with pain. And I don't use it very often because I desensitize to it very quickly. So at some point prior to this flare, I had a conversation with one of our group leaders about, when things get bad, these are the things that I do. And I don't even really, I don't remember having this conversation, but apparently I did because she remembered and said to my friend Mel, who was there with me, she said she has some kind of device thingy. Do you know what she's talking about? And so I was able to like go, oh wait, TENS unit, yes, and explain to them where it was, and they went and got it and put it on, and that was able to take the edge off enough that I could continue to participate. But yeah, it was scary. Yes, that was the downside of the weekend. So the other downside of the weekend was finding out that the Dr. Hubs had the flu while I was gone.
Oof.
It was, yeah. So.
And I was here and could do nothing for either of you.
I'm not saying this in a mean way, but I was kind of glad I was not here because.
You don't want the flu.
Well, even though I've had the flu shot, apparently there's a strain that over here on the peninsula that is not, the flu shot is not protecting you against.
Of course there is.
Scary. So, I mean, I feel bad that I was not here to help him, But
please disinfect things before I come home for the weekend. I don't need the flu.
No. And you've had a flu shot too as well. But yeah, no. We're all good. Pink Pearl kept him company. She apparently...
Pink Pearl get the flu?
Pink Pearl does not have the flu. Her has some allergies and was sneezy.
Oh, sneezy baby.
But it hasn't been as bad since we haven't been opening the sliding glass door as much because it's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been keeping it closed more. But apparently when he would be in bed sleeping and he would wake up and find her like nestled on my side of the bed sleeping with him.
Oh.
Yes. Her is a cute, sweet baby.
I love my baby.
And her also has decided that she can baby bunny more places than just the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So last night I was watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, as one does, sitting on the couch, knitting on my Nanny Swimmo sweater. And she jumped up on the couch next to me, which she has been doing more and more. And she has been nuzzling into me and putting her head on my leg while I'm knitting. Well, last night she just decided, that she was going to baby bunny on the couch. So
look at me, I'm so cute.
And so I had to do Betty rubs. We also were laughing at her last night because she was sleeping on Dammy's bed when Dammy and I were FaceTiming. So I went into Dammy's room so that Pink Pearl could FaceTime with Dammy. Well, Pink Pearl decided she was done after a while and came into the living room, and I was still in Dammy's room. And then I needed to get something to show Dammy. So I came in here, and she was on my Nanny Swimmo sweater, on my pattern. She was just like sprawled out on everything on the couch.
Yep.
I was like, excuse me, I need to knit that. So.
No, you don't.
I got to get my sweater done. Anyway, so sorry. We kind of went away from the retreat talking.
No, pink is a yummy. Pink is
always a yummy. We love our baby. Okay, so let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad unless you have something else. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Oh.
I'm just muting myself so you don't hear me going.
I'm not muting myself while I drink my coffee. Sorry. What is GGK Crafty Pad, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So November the theme is thankfulness, Thanksgiving, because it's American Thanksgiving here in November. And there's I think there's 5 days where the prompt is thankful. So each of those 5 days tell us something else that you're thankful for. And then there's just kind of our usual stuff, letters, numbers, colors, what I'm doing now, et cetera, et cetera. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. And those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody.
Yay!
It's never too late to join in. Just take a look at the prompt for the day. Today is hashtag WIDN, which stands for what I'm doing now. So you can interpret that prompt however you want. We're very cheater friendly on that. You take a photo, you post it on Instagram, make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad because that's how we find your photo and yours might get chosen. If you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad and you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. So All right. Upcoming events.
Yes, I have one. Just a second. I was looking at something for the Symphony box office. Okay, upcoming events. Tonight is the opening night of Love and Information, which is a show I helped with, and my name was in the program twice.
Ooh, what for twice?
For costume crew and box office.
Ooh, fancy.
And so I might actually be able to go see it tonight because I finish work at 7, and that's when the doors open and the polling begins at 7:15. So
oh, cool.
I might do that.
Awesome.
Since I didn't get to see the preview last night. But yeah, so there's a link to the Facebook event for it where you can be redirected to buy tickets for it. It's a play about love and information, and it's 10 actors playing over 100 different characters. It runs from the 8th to 10th of November, and then next weekend, the 15th through the 17th.
Awesome.
And we've also got a matinee, I think, on the 16th, or it might be this Saturday. I can't remember.
Okay, cool. And then this might change. We might actually not be able to go to this. I'm still hoping that it'll work out. But we're currently planning to go to the Tacoma is for Lovers Artist Craft Fair on Sunday the 18th at King's Books in Tacoma. And there's a link in the show notes to that. I'm hoping we'll be able to go, but we've had something come up that might make it where we can't go. So I'll let you know when I know. So, alrighty. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
Yes. The fun part about Dammy recording at her dorm, you just never know what noises are going to happen and go on around.
Sometimes there might be people screaming in the hallway.
Yes, but hopefully not at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's almost 10. Quiet hours are almost over.
Oh, okay. So at 10 o'clock, somebody might come screaming through?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we let out our frustration.
Okay. Well, thanks for giving us a heads up. Mute your microphone when that happens, okay? Okay, so what are you reading, Dammy?
So I finished reading Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This was the third of my 4 novels for my fantasy and science fiction class.
So what did you think of it once you finished?
It was the favorite of the novels we've read for the class. My favorite of the novels we've read for the class so far.
Okay.
But then we've got one more, which I haven't started yet, but I'm starting today because we're discussing the first third of it tomorrow.
Okay. It's a fairly easy read because I read it a few weeks ago. Surprisingly to both of us that I read it when she was going to be reading it for class. And
you could have read my physical copy.
I just checked it out from the library, but I read it because some friends had read it and recommended it. So we didn't even make the connection. So until we were recording that day.
Yeah, so it's The Power by Naomi Alderman, and I'm going to start that later today. I've already sectioned off all the sections I need to have completed to make it easier.
Yeah. And this is a newer book. It's just came out in the last.
Yeah, I think it's 2013 or 14.
Is it that? I thought it was even closer to now than that. I was thinking like 2016, but I could be wrong.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, 2016. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong.
What is my prize for guessing it right?
My eternal love.
All my love.
All my kisses, you don't know
what it is. Listen, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. You know what?
What?
We need to
get Pink Pearl involved in Christmas karaoke. You're right.
That it would be awesome, but we're going to need to, so we need to talk about exactly how we're doing this, and I think we mentioned it on the podcast in the last few weeks, but we're going to do some polls about what songs y'all would like us to sing for Christmas karaoke. So if you have not been around for Christmas karaoke in years past, starting at Thanksgiving and running up to the week before Christmas, we sing a Christmas song at the end of every podcast after the credits. And then the episode, the week of Christmas, we do an entire Christmas karaoke episode where every segment we sing a song before we do the segment. It's craziness. I'm glad you're going to be home to do that, because I can imagine your dorm mates not being happy of you singing songs.
All that I want for Christmas
is you. I'm so glad you're going to be home for Christmas.
Me too, because the cafeteria is closed on Christmas.
Okay, sorry, we totally got distracted. But Dammy, let's make a note to discuss that while you're home this week. Dammy's coming home for Veterans Day weekend to discuss that. And
I've got a fairly simple idea. So,
well, I thought it might be cool to do like, I don't know, we can talk about this later, but do like a thread in the Ravelry group where people can just shoot out song ideas, and then you and I can go through and be like, hey, we don't even know that song, we can't do that, but like pick from that to do the polls every week, as well as looking at our years past and seeing what we sing. Okay, we'll work on that. We want y'all to be involved in Christmas karaoke, but you're reading something else, Dammy.
Yes, The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Cotingo.
That's right. And I know in my heart of hearts that you're getting in 15 minutes of reading every day. Yes. So what am I referring to, Dammy?
What month?
October.
The October, November, December RAL read along.
That's right. So this is a challenge for you to read at least 15 minutes a day, every day, over these 3 months. There is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then you go in and edit your post. The minimum amount of information you need to post is that you read 15 minutes that day. You can be more exacting. You can tell us what you're reading. You can do a pie chart, which is one of my favorite parts of the RAL, is to see, what's her Ravelry name, Dammy?
Silvermoon and 2112?
Yes, her pie chart every month of like what she's read and like how much percentage of her reading time was for which different books. Any type of reading counts, including audiobooks. I don't care what you read as long as you're reading. There's 2 prize categories. For people who read 88 to 92 of the 92 days, you will be entered into one or more giveaways for any of our ebooks, get a 20% off a single pattern coupon code for our store, and get a virtual badge. If you read 61 to 87 of the 92 days, you'll be entered into one or more giveaways for any of our single patterns, and you'll get a virtual badge. Hashtag is hashtag GGKRAL18. And if you have any questions, there is a chatter thread where you can ask questions or feel free to PM us. But I love seeing how much people are loving reading and picking back up reading that they may not have been doing much of. It even counts if you're like reading books to your kids. That's totally cool. Okay, so what I'm reading. I am still reading Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I'm doing a book club with a friend for that. I finished reading The Sacred Enneagram, Finding Your Unique Path to Spiritual Growth by Christopher L. Hertz. So if you have any interest in the Enneagram and how it relates to your spiritual life, I highly recommend this book. It was so good. I highlighted lots of it. I talked with other friends who like the Enneagram about different things that I read, and I really, really, really liked it. So I would recommend that. So I started reading another nonfiction. I started reading An Altar in the World, A Geography of Faith by Barbara Brown Taylor. I just started it yesterday. I just finished chapter 1 last night. So so I'm enjoying that thus far. I'm continuing to reread Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is the second book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm reading that with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and the Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. Sorry, I have to take a drink.
All Potter podcast.
All Potter podcast. Speaking of J.K. Rowling, I read another one of her books that is not a YA book. It is a book for adults. It is not for YA. It's called The Casual Vacancy. It was okay.
Okay.
It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I want to gush about this. I really did like how, though, that she, like, in every, like, subset of chapters, like, she defined a term that was being used. Like, she defined what a casual vacancy is. Like, she defined these terms because it was about, the book is about a guy that dies and he leaves a vacancy in, like, the town council thing. And so those terms were important. And being set in the UK, even though we lived in the UK, there were some of them that I had not heard of before. So that definitely helped as she defined those terms. So I did appreciate that. I finished reading the Callahan Garrity mystery series by Mary Kay Andrews, writing as Kathy Hogan Trojek. I don't know why, but that's how she does it. So I read books 6, 7, and 8, and then I started a book called Savannah Blues, also by Mary Kay Andrews, that is not part of that series, and just started reading that last night.
Cool.
We are behind on some TV because I was out of town. We will get caught up eventually, but I did watch 3 of the Hallmark Christmas movies. I watched Christmas Joy, Road to Christmas, and Marrying Father Christmas. They were good. They are what you would expect in a Christmas movie. We're continuing to watch NCIS season 16 and NCIS New Orleans season 5. So Criminal Minds season 14. This was actually a really interesting episode because it was a case that tied back to JJ's sister. I remember that JJ's sister had taken her own life. And this, like, answered all the questions around what led to that. So that was very interesting. Supernatural season 14 this week was the Halloween horror movie special. Oh, yeah. Continue to watch season 12 of Big Bang Theory, season 1 of Murphy Brown, season 4 of Blind Spot. And this week began season 4 of Outlander, episode 1, America the Beautiful. This is not a safe show for kids. An adult show. Dammy's an adult now, but she still doesn't watch it or read the books.
Because I don't have time.
Yes. If you wanted
There's not enough time.
If you wanted to, you could, because you are an adult and you make your own decisions now.
And I have access to your Kindle account.
Yes. So let me just make a couple comments. So at the beginning of the episode, they showed this beautiful primitive ritual of building the standing stones. Like it was set in like 2000 BC. And it was beautifully choreographed and done. I love the updated theme song because now they're in America, and so they've
Americanized it.
They've changed it to be for that time period and that place in the world. And they totally put the quote that I named my pattern after for this time: "Nothing is lost, Sassenach, only changed." And he said it, Jamie said it, and I was like, yes! He said the quote. I was so excited. And then the ending part, which was very, very sad and very traumatic, but they had it set to the music with words of America the Beautiful, and just the I don't even know the word. Because you've got this like beautiful song, but you have this horrible thing happening on screen. So just the way they did that was heartbreaking, but it was so well done. So I'm going to come back to Doctor Who in a minute. I'm watching season 4 of Supergirl and season 7 of Arrow. Okay, Doctor Who series 11. This episode was called The Serenga Conundrum. And there was this moment when the doctor realized that she was thinking only about herself and not everyone else. And it was just a really beautiful moment. The Pating which was the creature. Did you see the picture of the creature, Dammy, on Instagram?
No.
So it looks like a furry adipose that devours everything. Like it eats, like it's PTING. I spelled it wrong in the show notes. It's like a furry devouring adipose.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
People described it as an angry porg.
That is accurate as well. That is very accurate. You need to see a picture with its sharp teeth.
Is it?
Because that's when it looks devouring. If its teeth aren't
it's
showing,
so cute.
okay, but do you see it with its teeth? And it looks like I'm going to devour the world.
No, it just looks so cute.
Yeah, well, it tried to devour the ship they were on.
It looks like a baby.
Yeah, but they tried to devour the ship they were on, and they were going to all die. Let's see. I could hear that. I was like, who's talking?
Whoops.
Is that the case files or whatever they're calling it for this episode with Yaz? I was like, wait, I know that voice. We got more of Ryan's backstory about his mom and dad. And then the doctor defined herself as the Doctor of Hope, which I think is very accurate.
Oh, the cartoon looks like me when I'm hangry. It's so cute.
It is until it's trying to devour everything.
It's cute.
I know. You will be happy to know that Hamilton lives on, and there's now been 900 casts of Hamilton.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Next Wicked. Did it close Wicked?
There was Call the Midwife references, which were so funny. And then towards the end, there was this quote that she said, "There's light and dark times, people prevail, hope prevails." So I thought that was really pretty. This wasn't like the best episode of the series, but I felt like it was. I felt like it was well done. It was at a much slower pace than some episodes, because some episodes you're just like running, and while there were like little bits of it where you were having to do, where they were having to run or whatever, it was a more slowly paced episode. So and then what have I been listening to? My faves playlist, my favorite murder podcast, Rachel Hollis. What have you been listening to? Anything?
Just some random Spotify playlists and a little bit of Cabin Pressure.
Cool. Are you going to...
For Cabin Pressure, Advent!
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, just everything 1 to 20. Hold on, I'm trying to think. 26, 27 episodes.
Right.
Is that right? So...
Yeah, because the last episode is split into 2.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't take place on Christmas, so we can finish on Boxing Day, because I love Boxing Day.
Yeah. So when are you coming home for Christmas? You have to be out of the dorm. Is it the 4th that you have to be out of the dorm?
No.
I mean, you don't have
4th. Not the 4th.
Are you seeing it on the calendar? It's on the calendar.
Yes, I'm looking. Because that week is my exams.
Yes.
The dorms close at 10 on Friday the 7th.
Oh, the 7th. Okay. But if you're done with exams before then, you could always come home early.
Ew, my writing exam is early.
Yeah, I know.
Gross.
So then I need you to help me know where the episodes are to listen to.
Okay.
So that I can be listening, and then once you're home, we can listen together if you want to. Mm-hmm. So, alrighty. Well, that was everything that we've been reading, watching, and listening to, plus some other things thrown in just for your viewing pleasure. This is a very purposeful, thought out podcast. We know exactly what we're going to talk about in every segment that we do. No, we don't. We have an outline. but things just happen and you just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
You just go with it. Like us teaching you fire safety of stop, drop, and roll. That's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just how it be sometimes.
That's right. All right. We'll be back in just a minute. You're okay.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Now we're going to talk about the September, October, November artistic autumnal owl.
Pink Pearl, would you like to tell them anything about the owl? No.
Yeah.
Have you finished your project?
My what?
No, she hasn't finished her project yet.
Oh, no.
What are you making? Are you making something important? Are you knitting?
I'm making biscuits.
Oh, biscuits. Does that go in the spinning category?
Goes in the weaving category.
The weaving category. Okay. Can you say hi to everybody? Hi, people. He's like, I don't want to be up here. I want down.
I love my baby.
Okay, love you, people. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, people. Okay, hold on. You can get down. There you go. Oh, it's okay. Oh, she's got to shake me off.
Oh, human coding.
Oh, human cooties. Human
Disgusting.
cooties. Oh, disgusting. Disgusting, Dammy.
How disgusting.
I know. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the owl, Dammy. Go for it.
Yeah. So this owl runs from the 1st of November and it runs through the 30th of November. And it's for any project. Hello? Oh, you muted yourself.
I muted myself. Sorry. I got a little bit.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, while I was gone on the retreat, I ended up with a cold. And now it's mostly gone, but just every once in a while, a cough happens. So, continue.
So, 1st of November through the 30th of November. And it's for any project that you can make.
1st of September.
1st of September through the 30th of November. It's for any project you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to autumn.
The fallback is?
You made it in the autumn.
That's right.
So there are 2 main rules. One of them is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of September and then finished by no later than the 30th of November. And then the second one is each project, I'm not going to say the 18.3 meters over and over. So each project of at least 20 yards that you finish and post in the Ravelry FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaways. But if your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards.
That's right. And then that one post will be one entry into the giveaways.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it fits in with other rules. That is totally fun. Pardon me. We've got lots of lovely prizes on the screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. If you would like to get a closer look at them or visit the shops where they are from, you can go to our show notes at geekygirlsknit.com.
That's right. Or tune into the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail, which we did last week. Actually, even though we recorded on the last day of October, the episode went live on the 1st of November, so we counted it.
So you must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a social media hashtag, GGKAutumn18, if you would like to tag stuff with it. The FO thread is going to be locked on the morning of the 1st of December, and the winners will be drawn on the next podcast following that. Yep. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they'll forfeit it.
Yep.
And there's also a chatter thread on Ravelry where we can encourage each other and you can post pictures of your project's progress on your project so far, and where I give shout outs to people who've finished projects.
That's right. And if you have any questions, you can post them there as well, or just post your progress or whatever you would like to post. That's cool. So, Dammy, I know you do the shout outs in the Ravelry group, but you also do them here. So why don't you tell us who finished projects this last week? I think there was a lot of them because it was the end of a month.
Yeah. So, Angie's Hip, Another Yarn 9, Crafty Sarah, D-Door 4, Deb Knits 2, I Know Hour, Philippa MC, I Knit Socks 2, Jodidiah, JP Music 15, Knit Live Love, Knitter Chow, Melangel SG2, Masterbox P248, Moe's Crochet, Nicole S., Penushka, Penny Gale, Psycho Hulakian, Rastrauss, Scrap Fair, Shirley Knits 123, S. Keeling, Stitch by Moonlight, TB53, and VT Kimmy Kim.
Great job, everybody. So keep working on those projects. You've got just a few days, over 3 weeks left to get your projects finished. So keep working on them, get them posted. All right, we'll be right back with the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. What is this week's question, Dammy?
This week's question is from Sally, who is party girl from Scotland. Another question about Dr. Hubbs. Can you tell us about the type of ministry he is involved with in his job?
Yes, he is working with, he's been working with homeless youth. So the place has a shelter, an overnight shelter that can house up to 6 youth. And he works with them in the evening and the overnight hours. The homeless problem up here is quite large, especially over in Seattle. Yeah. So it's really great that there are organizations that work with and help homeless. But he's also in the process of being ordained in our Anglican denomination with the hopes of doing church planting. And he also has some books he would like to write, some more research he would like to do in theology, missional theology and such. So that is hopeful that there will be times and places in the future where that can occur. Yeah, I think that answers it. So thanks for the question, Sally. If you have a question for us, what should you do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. All right. And yours will be, there's not been a single one we haven't been willing to answer. So ask us anything. All right. We'll be right back. And we made it to the end.
Yay.
This episode definitely is shorter because there is less stuff that I'm working on, and there's no FOs. And I'm not caught up on TV yet. So there are 3 reasons. And the Ask the Geeky Girls question this week was short too. And we had no review this week, where we've been having them. Although the new Pom Pom Quarterly is coming. I'm hoping it's going to be here before you come home. Mm-hmm. So that way you can look at it and then we can review it next week. But if it's not, the picture, the
previews,
the pattern previews are up on Ravelry already. And we'll work it out somehow. Yeah, but the patterns, oh my freaking gosh, when I saw some of the previews, I lost my mind because there are some of them that are so freaking amazing. That cover photo, and then you see the back and you see the sleeves, and I want to just knit pretty much the entire issue.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. A reminder, we still have a giveaway going on for another week from Dee Marie Prokop, who is another folk singer on Ravelry. She just released her new YA book, The Good Shepherd, and she gave us 2 people can win. They can either choose an ebook or a signed physical copy. And I'm loving seeing the answers in the thread because she asked us to ask y'all what heritage knit or crochet you have or would like to knit or crochet that you hope will become an heirloom, something passed down through your family or that has been passed down to you already. So I've loved reading the stories or seeing the photos and such. That's been really, really cool. So make sure and go enter that giveaway. Next week when we record, we'll lock the thread and draw the winners, and then you'll have 30 days to claim your prize. The Great Podcaster Craft Along starts January 1st. Also, I didn't put this in the show notes, but I need to find the dates for y'all. But the Indie Gift Along is coming later this month, and I will have 20 patterns that will be on sale as part of that. Unfortunately, Dammy has not designed enough patterns to be able to participate in that. But no fear, because December, 31 Days of Christmas, we will be doing an epic sale again. And this time we are grouping it by weeks. So I can't remember what order the categories are in, but there's a week of socks, there's a week of fandom, there's a week of shawls, wraps, towels, there's a week of coffee, and then the last few days of the month will be all of our ebooks. So you'll be able to use the coupon code multiple times to be able to buy whatever you want to buy that fits in that category. So stay tuned for details on that. It'll start on December the 1st. So we've got 2 fun things coming up with that. I think that's everything, Dammy. We should stay on our normal recording schedule. I think, didn't we talk about the fact that we could go ahead and record on Thanksgiving?
Maybe.
Because we're just going to do the 3 of us on Thanksgiving, and then we're doing a Friendsgiving on Friday. So we should be able to record. We'll see. If it changes, we'll let you know, just like we did last week, because sometimes things happen last minute. So we'd like to say a humongous thank you. We love you guys.
There.
To everyone who supports the podcast, however you do it. Yeah, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be doing this. And so, we love getting to share our lives with y'all, and it's just really special that we can have this time with y'all every week to share what's going on, and then also to hear from y'all as the week goes on about things that we've talked about, or things that you're participating in, or things you're doing, or answers to questions maybe we've been discussing, or whatever. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. So but the podcast does cost money to do. And so we're especially grateful for those of you who support the podcast financially. There's 3 main ways you can do that. The first is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. I just sent out Patreon rewards on Tuesday. I had to look at the calendar, which is over there on the wall, on Tuesday. So I did Patreon rewards on Tuesday. So if you're expecting rewards, if it was a digital reward, it came to you through the Patreon site. Otherwise, it'll be coming in the mail. Yeah, so if you're interested in learning more about that or want to sign up to do that, go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way, Dammy?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
Yes, and we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you go to our website first and click on the appropriate Amazon link, whether it's in the show notes portion or the sidebar portion, and then you shop on Amazon, we get a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would already be doing, like Christmas shopping. And just because there's been some things happen in the knitting world in the last, I guess, week or so, we say this on our site, but most of the links in our show notes are affiliate links. So we earn something back if you purchase it. So just putting that out there, okay? And we are always upfront with you that, like Marie gifted us the book so that we could read it before we reviewed it, or we purchased Pom Pom Quarterly to review, or whatever it is. We always do our best to be upfront about what is going on. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, Dammy, where can they find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
And with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Don't get sick like we have. No flu, no colds, no nothing. Don't do it. It's no fun, okay? No. Okay. But if you do get sick, maybe you can have TV and knitting time. That is one positive about being sick. I get to sit and watch TV and knit as much as I want. So until next week, happy knitting. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
having a dream that you're going hippity hoppity like a bunny? Watch your back legs. Hippity hoppity baby bunny.